Appreciate you being here. And, man, there is a lot going on. First of all, thank you to Brian Wilson for filling in for me the last couple of days. And it is so nice to be back. So let's get right to the news. You know what's really interesting is that there was a moment, and Joan, I know that you've got an opinion on this. There was a moment, I think yesterday, because you know when you take time off, you're sort of like, okay, so when did what happen?
Yeah.
But I think it was yesterday where Caitlin Collins, she asked a question of the White House at the White House press briefing, and she's talking about whether or not crime is really happening to the scale that President Trump is saying that it's happening in Portland, Oregon. Listen to this.
Because I spoke to the police chief of Portland last week. He said that the president's claims just don't match up with what's happening on the ground.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at it for yourself because...
Burn. Do you know what I love? So here's my theme for this segment. My theme for this segment is, hey, Caitlin Collins and all you people in Washington, D.C., get your asses down to Portland and find out what's really going on, like all of those other journalists or influencers are doing. Because that's what's going on. Where if you look at Caitlin Collins, right, and you look at all these people in the White House press briefing, and they're talking to the reporters in Washington, D.C., they're talking to each other, and they're saying, oh, this isn't really going on. The crime really isn't happening, all that badly in Portland and in Chicago and these other places. So you got people like Nick Sortor and other influencers who are going down to the streets of Portland. When was the last time Caitlin Collins was, reporting from the streets of Portland? Pretty sure that never happened, or at least not any time recently.
Her hair would get messed up.
Oh, we wouldn't want her hair to get messed up. We wouldn't want her makeup to get, whatever happens with makeup. So I love what they say. Listen to this. Let me just play the rest of it. Hold on. Here we go.
Because I spoke to the police chief of Portland last week. He said that the president's claims just don't match up with what's happening on the ground.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at it for yourself because there's been many members of the press, not press in this room, but independent journalists, some of whom we'll be inviting to the White House very soon to share their stories because they have been in the middle of these riots and they have witnessed the anarchy that is taking place night after night. It's on video. You should play it on your show. You have a great opportunity on primetime on CNN to show your audience. Yeah, but you're probably talking to partisan Democrat officials who are opposed to everything this president does.
See, realize Caroline Leavitt is spot on because remember, it is those same type of officials, local officials and you've got police and the FBI as they coordinate with the federal officials. These are the same people during the Biden administration that did not report all of the crime stats for a number of different reasons, but mainly because it would look really bad for either the Biden administration or for the local authorities. And so I like that Caroline Leavitt absolutely calls them out and says, okay, well, who are you talking to? Because if you're speaking to the local authorities in Portland, well, of course they're going to lie. Go speak to Andy No. Go speak to Nick Sortor. Go speak to the people, the influencers, otherwise known as modern-day journalists, who are checking out what is exactly going on in those cities. Because Caroline Leavitt is absolutely right. Are local authorities really going to play right into the hands of Donald Trump? Are local authorities really going to admit that crime has been out of control?
You should also ask the people who live in Portland. We've actually heard from many members of the community who have said that this is complete civil disobedience. It's a mess. It's been loud. It's been troubling for neighbors in the community who are just trying to live peacefully. And these people are not there to peacefully protest. They are there to cause mayhem and havoc.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Caroline Leavitt is spot on. And so I would like to see Caitlin Collins get out there into the streets of Portland, get up there nice and comfy and cozy with Antifa and see how that works out for her. While the real reporters are out there doing the actual work of documenting what is going on. Now, the data does show that violent crime is down in Portland. I'm just going to tell you that is what the data shows. But here's the other question. What does it actually look like? You can decide to believe the data or not, but the reality is that Antifa has taken over literally entire city blocks. And yes, in the past, they have tried to burn down federal buildings. They have tried to burn down local buildings with law enforcement inside. And obviously, you know that these days they have been attacking ICE. They've been harassing reporters. They've been harassing influencers as well. Antifa has been all over the place, causing all kinds of chaos. And by the way, as far as your crime rates go in Portland versus the national average, 3 times higher than the national average for total crime. Violent crime, also above the national average, slightly above, and property crime, way above the national average. So, Caitlin Collins, please tell me again how you've spoken to the authorities in Portland about how crime is not really a problem. Antifa is not really a problem there in Portland. Now, you've heard me mention Nick Sortor a couple of times. Now, if you're anywhere around conservative social media, you follow the conservative socials and so forth, you know that Nick Sortor is an influencer, and he is simply walking down the streets of Portland. I think this was either yesterday, Joan, or the day before, but he's walking down the streets of Portland, and Antifa starts harassing him. Now, I can't play the volume because there's some F-bombs. But if you're watching on YouTube TV, you can see that Nick is walking down the street. And I got to tell you, and I don't know if you're listening on the radio, I'm going to describe it for you. But if you're watching on the socials, you will see that there is this. There's no other way to say this, Joan. And I don't mean to fat shame anybody because I'm really not. But there's this really large, bespectacled Antifa guy. And I don't know, he's dressed like all in black, and he's got a mask on, a black mask on as well. And Sortor he's just trying to walk down the street, is all he's trying to do. And he's got this big old blubberous Antifa guy that is trying to, shove him and everything. And then some others start to join in, and then they throw him into, I don't know, what looks like a plant bed or something. It's like a hole or something. Yeah. But they push him down into the dirt, basically, Nick Sortor. And all Sortor is trying to do is document what is going on. And what I don't really understand, and by the way, there is some good news to this story. They were going to charge Sortor.
Now they arrested him. They carried him off.
Yes.
After he got attacked.
They did. It's the crazy. Now, they're not going to charge him, it turns out. That is new this morning. But I got to tell you that as I'm looking at this, you see that Sortor is just walking there, just walking down the street. And you got all these, Antifa loons in all of their, I don't know, it looks like they're wearing like black blankets or black sheets. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Is that how you would describe it, Joan?
Yeah, I think so.
So he ends up getting arrested for literally doing nothing. You want to talk about victim blaming, victim shaming, whatever. That's what the Portland police are doing. So he was on Hannity. This was last night. I'm going to play that audio for you coming up next. But I think, remember what the purpose is or the theme is of this segment. Caitlin Collins from CNN pretending to be a journalist saying, oh, there's nothing going on there in the city of Portland, the streets of Portland, Oregon. Local authorities tell us everything is fine. And then Caroline Levis says, really, then why don't you go down to Portland and see for yourself? Look what happened to the real journalist, Nick Sortor. He got attacked by Antifa. 5:16, time to check the roads on WTN.
Okay, there is a crash on 24, the eastbound side at Whites Creek before Old Hickory Boulevard North, exit 40. That'll cause some slowdown this morning. Delays, looks like, on 24 on the westbound side. It's already starting this morning. It's going to be a little bit of a mess because of the rain.
It's raining, Joan. It's
yes.
raining. You know that people's IQ points in Middle Tennessee go down like 5 because when it starts to rain. Suddenly, nobody can drive.
They can't drive. They don't know how to drive slowly. and with caution. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a mess this morning. You may want to just schedule some extra time to get to
I had
work.
a couple of semis, Joan.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm a white knuckle driver anyway. And so then when it rains, I'm going the speed limit.
Yeah.
I'm going the speed limit, and I'm white knuckling all the way. Man, I got these semis just blowing right by me.
Yeesh.
Listen,
With the spray on the windshield.
What,
and all
the
that,
spray
right?
on the windshield and the whole thing. So anyway, it is a little frustrating for someone who obeys the rules and obeys the traffic laws in this town for these semi-truck drivers who just go speeding by me.
Yeah, you truck drivers.
Yeah, although we love the truck drivers.
Yeah, we do.
We absolutely love the truck drivers. I'm just saying, what you need to do is...
Watch out for Dan.
Watch out for White Knuckle Dan. All right, moving right along. 517, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. As far as your weather today, well, it's a high of 79, cloudy, humid, couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm as well. Lots and lots of rain this morning. And appreciate you listening to Super Talk 99.7. Bob Day. Bob Day is the police chief out there in Portland, Oregon. Again, talking about Nick Sortor. Had you heard of Nick? You certainly have heard of Nick Sortor. Joan, before all of this happened. Okay, so...
Yeah, I follow him.
Yeah, I don't know how many followers he has, but isn't it true, Joan, that these influencers are doing the actual work of journalists? Think about it. Like Caitlin Collins, we called the local police and they tell us everything is fine in Portland.
We called the people that we like, that see things our way.
Right.
And they told us...
that everything is fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Meantime, Nick Sortor went down to Portland to see for himself. Bob Day is the police chief out there in Portland, and he starts mouthing off about, oh my gosh, Nick Sortor? Oh yeah, he was out there. You know why Nick Sortor was out there, Joan? Nick Sortor was out there for the clicks.
Well, what we're seeing with the increased national attention is bringing in nationally recognized influencers. This is certainly a new phenomenon for myself and for law enforcement in general, and their reach is obviously very significant. And so they're going where they can get the views and create.
So it has nothing to do with wanting to document what is going on.
That's incredible.
I think that there are some influencers who truly want to expose what is going on in the world. I truly do. And then there's other people who are truly in it just for the clicks. But I believe that Nick Sortor and people like him, they are in it to expose the truth because they have seen firsthand. Maybe I'll get into this a little bit more later on. But people like Nick Sortor and some of these other folks, Benny Johnson is another one, they have seen firsthand how our right to free speech and a free press can be absolutely crushed by the federal government, can be absolutely crushed by big tech. And so any surprise that Caitlin Collins from CNN is saying, everything's fine in Portland. You know, CNN, one of the ones who was working hand in hand with the FBI to make sure that nobody was out there able to question their Lord and God Almighty Anthony Fauci, right? So I think that people like Nick Sortor and people like him, they understand what's at stake in America right now. And so they're doing what they can to expose what is really going on and bypassing the likes of, pseudo-journalists these days like CNN. This is, again, Bob Day, the police chief out there in Portland.
The perception, and our belief is that we are simply managing to the rule of law. Our role is to mitigate crimes, violence, et cetera. There was a disturbance involving Mr. Sortor.
There is a disturbance involving Mr. Sortor. Yeah, he was bullied, he was intimidated, he was pushed, and he was thrown to the ground. Yet he got arrested. Nick Sortor got arrested. A couple other people, by the way, also got arrested.
3 people into custody, and those cases have been referred to the district attorney's office.
So there you go. That is Bob Day, the Portland police chief. It is also interesting how he's talking about, by the way, do you know, Joan, why I believe, and I don't think I have the audio, but do you know why it is that they dropped the charges against Nick Sortor? I believe that it's because he was out there with his attorney saying, oh, yeah, Oh, yeah. They're going to hear from us, all right. That's what Nick Sortor said. They are going to hear from us, and there will be a lawsuit. That's what he said.
Oh, yeah. Clearly, he got beat up, and he's the one that ends up in the handcuffs and carted off. I don't see how a lawsuit doesn't happen.
Well, and that's why they're letting him go.
Yeah.
That's why they're saying, by the way, that doesn't mean that the lawsuit automatically goes away. I mean, granted, he's not going to face any charges. I don't know everything else that happened behind the scenes, but I mean, if they looked at the video cameras and they looked at the body cam and they looked at all the different footage, and then they realized, okay, Sortor didn't do anything wrong, we're going to let him go. But I am wondering, what was the reason why he's not going to face any charges? Is it truly because they feel that he did nothing wrong, that he was the actual victim, or is it because they are afraid of a lawsuit? This is what he said last night on Hannity.
I've gotten it on video multiple times now of people, like different people coming up to me saying things like, oh, well, if you come around again, you're going to end up being Charlie Kirked. I mean, these people celebrate violence. And, because they walk up and say, I'm a Nazi. They call everybody on the right a Nazi, right? And that alone, if people genuinely believe that somebody is a Nazi, they have no problem with committing violence against them. And, I came out here originally, Sean, to expose the Portland police. But within hours of me being here, they exposed themselves. So I really didn't have to do much. It's been like this for the longest time, where the residents next door to this ICE facility out here are miserable because they're stuck in a lease and they can't sleep at night because people are screaming in the megaphones at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
I mean, it's not fair. And they're afraid to speak out because if they do speak out, they're going to end up being attacked too. I mean, these people need help.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Nick Sortor, absolutely right. By the way, everybody's freaking out on the left about Donald Trump and him saying, you know what, I don't know, I might have to call for the Insurrection Act. And so now everybody, of course, is hand-wringing over the Insurrection Act. So we'll talk about that and a whole lot more. By the way, let's go Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago. Going to talk about what he said yesterday. I think it was yesterday, where he talks about how the president wants to invoke another civil war. I'm so glad to be back. People are asking me, how's Amy doing? So I feel like, just very quickly.
Yeah, you need to do an update here.
Well, so I have been hesitant to talk a lot about what's going on with Amy. I'm very proud of her. That woman has lost 162 pounds. So she finally went Facebook, I don't know what you call it, but Facebook official or whatever, where she posted like before and after photos.
Yeah.
And that took a lot for her to do. And she did it. And this has been a long 2-year journey. And so she started 2 years ago, and she has lost 162 pounds. So now she had to go through some surgery and get all of the, what would you call that, Joan?
The leftovers.
The leftovers. Oh, my goodness. The leftovers.
Yeah.
And so, and I don't want to get into details because, number one, I don't know how much she wants me to talk about, but they had to take out a lot of that leftover. And so it is a major surgery to get all of that leftover stuff taken out. I mean, it is. It's horrible. So that's what I've been dealing with for the last 4 days is the after effects of her surgery. So today, my first day back, and I left her drugged. So I think she's going to be okay. And she is on all kinds of drugs to, deal with the pain and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, it just, she looks fabulous. And I have to tell her every day, honey, it's a process. It is a process. So, but I'm proud of her. I'm very proud of her. And this is something, between the weight loss and now the surgery, it has been just such an effort. An effort on both of our parts, to be honest with you. But she's done amazing, and I'm so proud of her. So anyway, people are asking me a couple of things. Number one, because I haven't been posting really anything on the socials. So number one, I want to go through a few things. Chris Hand was threatened on the air. I did not hear this. I heard the lead up to it, and I heard the aftermath. I didn't hear the actual. So have you heard the actual, Joan?
I haven't.
Okay, so, and I feel like I owe Sam, I owe you an apology. Because, Joan, the first thing I said to Sam, I think I may have said good morning beforehand, I think, was, hey, Chris was threatened. Can you get me that audio by 5:35?
Specifically, hey, when you get a second.
Wait, which, by the way...
And then I said, I got a second. And you go, okay, go find this.
Well, by the way, when you've got a second in Dan code means right now. So, anyway...
You'll catch on.
And be prepared to waste the next 10 minutes.
So this was a long phone call.
Yeah.
But this is where Chris was threatened. And some of you folks have heard this. I don't think... I know Chris talked about it yesterday. I don't know if anybody has actually replayed the audio. You've probably heard about it. But, poor Sam had to sit through this entire 10-minute conversation, which led up to this. They're talking about... By the way, Sam, they're talking about what?
So, Jared, they called in, and Jared, the caller, wanted to talk about the little boy being put in zip ties by ICE agents.
Which, by the way, was untrue.
Yes.
That in Bill Maloogian, there are a couple of different... I apologize. I am so talkative today. I'm just not letting anything breathe. But Bill Maloogian from Fox News debunked a photo that showed that like a little 2-year-old was being put in zip ties. There is another photo that is out there that shows the left is trying to say, oh, look, another picture of children being put in zip ties, right? Heidi Campbell, for one, I tweeted about this yesterday. Heidi Campbell tweeted out this photo where basically it was saying that, oh, look, this is what MAGA voted for, which was, children being put in zip ties. Now, the reality is you had 3 people, the main focus of this photograph, see it on my X feed at Dan Mandis Show. 2 clear children were not in zip ties. 1 male who looks like he could have been 14, 15, 16 years old, 17, 18, whatever, was in zip ties. And y'all know, if you know anything about Memphis or Nashville or any other city where you can have 14, 15, 16-year-olds who will blow your damn head off. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if they're lawbreakers, they deserve to be in zip ties. Anyway, in other words, the Trump administration is not running around putting children in zip ties.
This guy was also in denial that Charlie Kirk's assassin, he believed it to be a conservative. He believed the guy that shot at the ICE facilities was he was totally off the rails.
All right, so let's listen to the audio.
I want to see all of the illegal aliens that are being enslaved. Send me your sources, and I will dive into them, Jared.
Are you trying to be the new CK? Is that your goal? Is that you want to be martyred? I mean, because you...
And he said, are you trying to be the next CK, the next Charlie Kirk?
Just sound like you're on a soapbox.
Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like.
Is that a threat?
That's what it just sounds like.
Are you threatening me? You threatening me, Jared?
That sounds so white to go, is that a threat when you bring up the facts?
You said...
So white?
So what?
So
this
white?
This guy is... Woof.
Joan...
TBI, if you're listening.
You sound so white.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a tendency to sound white.
And if Joan sounds white, I don't know what shade is lighter than white, but that would be me.
So it sounds so white to go, is that a threat when you bring up the facts?
You just said, are you trying to be the new CK? Do you want to be martyred?
That's what you sound like. That's what you sound like. You're like, let me get on this soapbox because I want to be the next martyr. And what you're doing is that you are endangering other people with what you say and comes out of your mouth.
I'm not endangering anyone.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, I was sitting here listening to your show.
It is crazy liberals like you that are endangering people. Pushing this narrative that ICE doing their job is the Gestapo. Oh, you think I don't care about these people? I actually, when the crazy leftist went on a roof and started opening fire on the Dallas ICE facility just last week, I said, you know what I did? I said, I'm going to pray for the illegal aliens that were killed. I'm going to pray for them.
All right, so that was part of the interaction. The other thing that I liked was that Chris came out and part of what he said was he was going to pray for Jared. The guy's named Jared. Because a lot of people picked up on the fact that perhaps Jared maybe is a little unbalanced, a little unhinged, maybe a lot unhinged.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's getting information from sources that are just trying to control his mind,
Joan,
sway him in one direction.
Joan, when I heard that call, and I kid you not, it took me about, when he started talking about toddlers with the zip ties, it took me about 25 seconds on Google while parked at a red light to find out that was BS.
Yeah.
That was a BS story. So Jared is, in my opinion, he is unhinged and unbalanced because of all of this insanity that he is taking in from the left.
The indoctrination.
That's right, Joan.
And this is, I would say this is the average leftist these days, unfortunately. Yeah. And I can't get over the insanity of proclaiming that someone wants to be the next martyr and then go, well, it's your side's the one that's bringing violence, man. Like,
yeah, and
the English teachers have failed the generations, not understanding that words matter and what you put out is going to have some sort of an impact. Mm-hmm. Chris is a husband and a father, mm-hmm. and for you to even joke that he should be a martyr is beyond disgusting.
Well, and somebody's asking, 4859, is Jared the reason the Hot Springs event got canceled? So I can't ever leave, Joan.
I know.
The Hot Springs things got canceled when I was gone.
No, Jared's not the reason.
No, it's the damn lawyers.
Yeah.
There's no lawyers. There's damn lawyers in this company. So the lawyers decided that people like Jared probably are, not worth the thousands and thousands of dollars in security that we would have to. I think this is the
Well,
do we know? I should actually stop because I don't really know the official reason why it was canceled. So whatever.
I think Chris addressed this.
Was it security?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm checking myself now, but I think that's what he said. And indirectly, you could say yes. Jared is the reason because it's people like him that continually threaten the lives of people on the other side.
And it's people like Heidi Campbell who put out pictures where she's like, this is exactly, and go find it on my X feed. This is what MAGA voted for.
Perpetuating the lie.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that I posted was I was asking, I tweeted at Phil Williams over there, Channel 5, and instead of this constant drone of looking for Christian nationalists in Tennessee, why don't you take a look at some of these lawmakers here in the state of Tennessee who are perpetuating these lies? Why don't you look at that, Phil? Because this is the kind of thing that leads to actual violence.
Yeah. If the MMPS settlement wasn't enough to get him out of his rocking chair.
So anyway, we'll have to see ultimately what happens with all of that. All right, real quick, the Attorney General for Virginia.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm going to admit I know only surface level on this one. So, Joan, the Attorney General, now this has national implications because this could impact and affect the governor's race there in the state of Virginia.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So, okay. He's the Democrat candidate. Jason Miyares is the current attorney general in the state, in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And he's opposing, so Jay Jones is the Democrat. Somebody unearthed text messages from 3 years ago in which he said that he had 2 bullets for his political opponent at that time.
The Attorney General.
Yeah.
The Attorney General.
Essentially the top cop in the state, the guy that wants to be the top cop in the state, said he has 2 bullets for his opponent and fantasized about his young children being killed as well and dying in their mother's arms.
Oh,
now,
my
he
gosh.
said that the only way to make these people change their policy is by having something horrible like that happen in their lives.
And he said 3 people, 2 bullets. This is the exact text. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot, Gilbert being his opposition. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people, and you know he receives both bullets every time. And he was joking about it. When someone said, Jay, please stop, he said, LOL, okay. And you want someone with the temperament of that to be the attorney general for the state? On top of when cops were donating to Kyle Rittenhouse's defense fund, he criticized them and said they should be removed from the force. So he doesn't know the law very well either if he doesn't understand self-defense.
So, I mean, that you're absolutely right. When it comes to Kyle Rittenhouse, just look at the videos, folks. So now you've got this impacting the race between Winsome Sears, who is the Republican.
She put out a commercial.
Incredible.
Right quick.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the Democrat, Abigail Spanberger, because Spanberger has she denounced it yet?
No,
she has not.
She hasn't denounced it, and her whole thing is let your rage fuel you.
That's
what she tells
campaign.
her. It's disgusting.
Let your rage fuel you?
That's what she tells her constituents.
Well,
that's her campaign slogan. Let your rage. What's the rest of it, Sam?
Let your rage fuel you.
Yes.
Yeah. Like some Dark Lord, Star Wars Sith energy.
What? Let's do the literal translation definition of the word rage: violent, uncontrollable anger.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and these are the people that want to take over in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now she's
they care about people
comfortably ahead. Winsome Sears, who is a fantastic woman. Marine.
She's amazing.
Yeah, just terrific. I've interviewed her. She's a lovely woman, and she's tough. So she put out a commercial right away.
Can you find that commercial real quick?
Joan, you talking about the one where she uses Spanberger's words against her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll find it.
Yeah, because I would like. I mean, we've mentioned it a couple of times now, and from what I understand. It is a fantastic commercial. Somebody said, Joan, that it was one of the greatest political commercials ever.
Yeah.
So
she turned it around so fast, and it's what it is Spanberger talking about Jay Jones and how much he's so terrific, and the guy refuses to step away.
Do you know what the thing is, Joan?
The Democrat group in that area, the Virginia Beach area, said that they still support him and they urge everyone to go out and continue to vote for him. Now, they've already had election, the early votes
voting
have already been cast. Some 280,000 votes have already been cast with him on the ballot.
Can I just be cynical, though, too, real quick? Is that how many Democrats disagree with the Attorney General?
Candidate.
How many people disagree with the Attorney General candidate?
Good point.
On the left.
Yeah.
Is it that it's hitting too close to home? Because I didn't see a lot of Democrats out there, condemning the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Did you?
I did not.
I saw a lot of celebration. I saw a lot of people on the left saying, oh, it's awful that he was assassinated, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I maybe the reason why the Democrats are sort of cowering over this story is because they've been found out. But, I mean, we've all known, really, for years. Since Donald Trump's assassination attempt, we've known where the Democrats are on violence against conservatives, which is why the whole Chris Hand thing scares the living daylights out of me with he and his family.